The following is a production of the Lakeside Chiefs Radio Network. Welcome to the Lakeside Football Report with head coach Tom Clements. Your weekly in-depth look at all things Lakeside Chiefs football. We'll look back at last week's game and look ahead and break down this week's matchup.
35-30, 25-20, 50, 10, 5, gone. Touchdown, Lakeside.
With your host, Ben McAlilly.
Welcome in, as always, to the Lakeside Football Report with head coach Tom Clements. I am your host, Ben McAlilly. Coach, tough loss last week, 33-18 to Macon East. Just kind of give us your thoughts on last week's game. What we do well, what do we do not so well?
Good evening, first of all, Ben. Good to have you here with us. Thanks again, as always, for what you do here with this. Just a quick recap. We knew it would be a tough game going in. A lot of questions were answered, and a lot of questions were answered really in a positive way. Of course, we still have a lot to work on, and so does everybody else at this point in the season. But we really saw a lot of good things that we can build off of, and we're kind of excited about it, and hope that we can build off of and create some good momentum going into the middle part of the season. But as far as the game goes, they jumped on us quick. It's 21-0 with 5:59 left in the first quarter, and I knew, and we discussed this last week on this show, that it's hard for us we really can't show the speed of the game in practice, and I knew it would take us, a couple of series to get adjusted to their speed and just the flow of the game, and that's what happened. And once we were able to settle in and defensively and get some stops and force some punts and make some plays defensively to get the ball back for us, the game seemed to pretty much even up. And it was a good momentum builder for us, but there were several points in the game that could have gone the other way. And that was a good point for us to make as a coaching staff. You get a chance to take the lead or get yourself back in the game. You don't just sit down when you're back in it. You got to keep pushing. And we didn't do a good job in that category. We'd make a play and get the ball back and just kind of stall out and not execute what we wanted to. But definitely had a chance to win the game. For sure was in the game, but we did. We had a chance. We just didn't make the plays when we needed to, but definitely saw some things that were good for us and that we can work and build on for the rest of the season.
Understood. Not to kind of harp on the negative. Some of the problems I noticed from in the booth, drop passes, penalties, and special teams really cost us big time. Just kind of talk about how you've worked on those things and what can we do to get better?
Well, we did have a lot of drops. Had some big plays in the passing game as well, but we also had some plays that could have been even bigger. We just didn't make them. We special teams wise, we're not executing our PATs. It's and a lot of people, first thing you're going to think when I say that is kicker, but it's not the case. You got to have a snap, you got to have a hold, and you got to have a kick, and we're just not able to put those three together right now, and it is a serious concern, and that's something that came up there in the game. It's a 27-12 game, I think it was, and we scored to make it 27-18. In that situation, you're hoping to kick to make it 27-21, and that's big because the PAT failed, and now you're down 2 scores when you should only be down 1, and so that's frustrating, and it's something that we definitely have to get figured out. And I thought the punt team did okay, with the exception of the first punt, we dropped the snap, and they take over. I believe it was on our about 5-yard line, and they scored in one play. That's how the game started. We went 3 plays, punt, dropped the snap, and they recovered, and they're up 7-0 very early. So that was definitely something that hurt us. And But it's an area that we have to improve in as far as PATs go, and definitely got to hold on to the ball. It's you see it every now and then, but we had one that was running down the sideline that we thought was going to have a chance to score. The next thing we know, the ball's laying on the ground. Just little things like that we're going to have to correct and clean up, and we'll make sure we do that.
Definitely the play, the fumble down the sidelines. Was he trying to change hands, or was he?
Well, one of our coaches thought the ball was actually knocked away as the guy was reaching out for it. I thought he dropped it, but either way, the ball's got to be protected in that situation. And he's tight. He's right on the sideline, and normally that ball hits and rolls out anyway, but it didn't happen. So they recovered it, and that one hurt.
But that play and then the touchdown pass that was called back seemed to be
that was
really
big too. And then I was upset, with it's fourth and long, and we're in cover 4, and we bite on the underneath dig route, and the number 2 receiver from the 2x2 set runs a double move right over the top, and we fell for the underneath dig, and that kind of stuff is frustrating. Of course, they scored on that play, and another big play toward the end of the game, and they're going in to score. Kid goes to reach out for the pylon. He lost the ball inbounds, and the back judge wrote him out. Who's in the middle of the field? I still hadn't figured that one out yet, but it was definitely a touchback. But that didn't change or have any effect on the score. We made our share of mistakes, and we got to play a little better in areas. But hey, the effort was there. It was definitely a good thing. After we're down 21-0, it ends up being a close contest. It's a 12-18 game in our favor after that, technically. But unfortunately, that's not how they keep the score, and we just gotta get off to a better start each Friday night.
Well, we talked about the negative a little bit. Let's talk about the positive. I felt like the defense played fairly well once they settled in, and the tailback for Macon East was a load. He was a very good player.
He was, and he's a very, very athletic kid for his size too. They run a lot of GT counter look, and it's out of several different formations, and we really drilled that the best we could all week in an inside drill. And at first, we weren't stopping it. We weren't really with the flow of the game and game speed. But once we figured out that their speed, we were able to get in there and make some stops, and they hit a big pass play or two that hurt us. But overall, as a team effort, the defense didn't play bad, and and then offensively, we didn't play too bad offensively. We just there were several things we saw watching film. One time we ran toss sweep with Lane Beasley. If he'd have stayed outside, he walks in the end zone. He cut inside and where the middle of the defense was, and then there were several tosses we ran with Hill. If he would have cut it back, it would have been big. And then of course, we talked about the drop pass and all that. But you know what? It is what it is. It's behind us now, and we just got to learn from our mistakes and move on.
To single out one player, he played both ways. Rhodes Bennett. Talk about him a little bit. Came up with a big interception the first game. Had a fumble. He looks like a completely different person this year.
He is. Rhodes he's been a good surprise for us this year. I think I mentioned earlier one of the shows we had that we were trying to get him bumped out to tight end. It really fits his body frame more, but we didn't end up with the personnel we thought we were going to have tackle to tackle, so we kept him at tackle. And to our surprise, he has improved tremendously. And especially on the defensive side of the ball, he's been making some plays for him. And sometimes just that 1 year maturity from a sophomore to a junior can make a big difference. And it's looking like he's one of those kids. It's just that 1 year of maturity has really helped him, and we hope that he keeps that up and continues to improve.
Well, fantastic. Well, that kind of wraps up our look back at last week's game. We're going to step away for a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back and turn the page to this week's opponent, Crenshaw Christian. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Lakeside Football Report.
This is more than a bundle. It's more than a combo deal. It's not just stuff. This is your home, your car. And you want to give them the protection they deserve. With home and auto insurance. State Farm agents get it. It's why they're here.
In Eufaula, talk to State Farm agent Sam Wise.
APEC Metal Express, offering quality service and guaranteeing to have the right parts and supplies. When you consider buying a roof or pole barn at other places, you make your decision based on a tiny sample. The warehouse at APEC Metal Express has an actual pole barn set up to give you a better idea of what yours will look like. This level of service is one of the things that sets them apart. APEC Metal Express, residential roofing, siding, trim, and in-stock pole barn kits with 16 colors in stock. 985 Technology Drive in Dothan, or call 699-5972.
High school.
Somebody cannot come to us, we go to them. It's something that we do on a regular basis, something we don't mind doing, and we work on a contingency basis.
No one has to pay us any money up front.
They do not have to pay us unless we collect for them. Unless we are successful in resolving their case through a settlement or through trial.
They don't have to pay us any money unless we get favorable results for them. If you're hurt in a car wreck, call Penn and Seaborn. It won't cost you anything to see if we can help.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Benny Whitehead Incorporated has called Eufaula home since 1965. Today, the family-owned business owns and operates 119 tractors and trailers and employs over 150 people. Benny Whitehead is nationally known as a leader in safety and keeping the air clean and fuel consumption low. Benny Whitehead Incorporated loves Eufaula and would like to wish Lakeside and Eufaula safe and successful seasons. Deloach, Wingate & Company is a professional certified public accountant firm located at 102 Riverside Drive in Eufaula, Alabama. The firm has been in business for 30 years and has developed a number of firm specialties, including individual, corporate, partnership, nonprofit income tax returns, individual audit services, tax compliance and consulting, single audits, governmental audits, month-end reporting, payroll preparation, quarterly and annual reporting, and other general accounting and taxation consulting. Please call Deloach, Wingate & Company at 334-687-2108 or drop by their office for all of your accounting needs. Deloach and Wingate welcome the opportunity to support all of our local and surrounding schools with their athletic activities.
Your car is one of the largest and most important investments you have, so keep it looking sharp and new at Impressive Collision Center. The family at Impressive has been in business since 1940. They work closely with all insurance companies or can give you an excellent price on your minor mishaps. Also, check out all of the accessories from installed brush guards, winches, and bed liners. Swing by or give them a call. Impressive Collision Center, 317 South Eufaula Avenue, or call them at 687-4400. Azure Creations supports the Lakeside Chiefs. For all your screen print, embroidery, vinyl, and sublimation needs, contact Azure Creations. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Azure Crafts and Creations. Email us at azure.craftsandcreations@gmail.com or contact us at 334-695-0643. Go Chiefs!
This is the Lakeside Chiefs Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Lakeside Football Report with head coach Tom Clements. I'm your host, Ben McAlilly. Coach, this week, heading over to Luverne to take on Crenshaw Christian, kind of a traditional rival matchup, I guess you'd say, with Lakeside. Talk about that a little bit. And like Coach Wayne Grant, been a long-time head coach. Just give us your thoughts.
Yeah, it's been a big rivalry since the beginning days of both schools. And I was trying to think today, because I've been here since 2004, with the exception of a few years. But I know the last time when I was coaching football, we beat them 35-0 week 10. I think that was 2015. And to my knowledge, that's the last time we've beaten them. I could be wrong, but I think that's right. And then as far as beating them, and that game was at home, but as far as beating them at their place, I know when Coach Mock and I were coaching together, I want to say it was 2006 or 7, we beat them at their place. And I think that's the last time we won over there. So they've pretty much had the upper hand, as far as in the win-loss column. They've had the upper hand on us. And they're normally big and physical, normally have a really good running game, just a tradition-rich program there. As a matter of fact, Coach Shoemaker that was here for years, he won his football championship at Crenshaw before he came here. So I know they won that one. They've won several others. But so they've always been a good, solid football program and still are to this day. And they have one of the best coaches around that you could ask for. And they bought into what, his system is and what he believes in. That for us. But as far as the history and tradition of this game, I don't know exactly how many times we played, but I'm pretty sure Crenshaw has the advantage in the win-loss column. They're tough, always have been, and most likely always will be, and we're definitely going to have our hands full.
What do you expect to see from them when they have the ball? What do they do offensively that would give us problems, and how do you counter that?
They're going to run. Number one, they're going to run. Literally, they're going to run at you, make you stop them, and their offensive line does a really good job of getting off the ball, and they have good leverage, and they're fundamentally sound. They do the little things that a lot of people have stopped doing, and Coach he still does what he believes in, and he don't have a reason to change it. They're going to get under center, run too tight, high with flanker, and they'll spread it out some. But even when they're spread, it's a physical type spread. There's nothing finesse about them, and they're going to play full speed every snap, and they're just well coached at every position. But offensively, we've got to stop the run, and then when you do that, he's always had a good tight end threat. That's something he believes in, and they've always been good at that. And so that's something else you got to be aware of. So it's going to be tough, and they do what they do, and pretty much say stop us, and we're going to have to stop them. So that's the best way to put it.
Well, flip the other side of the ball. What do they do? What's their look on defense? What do they do defensively? What do you expect to see from them?
Same thing as they're physical, and we're going to have to play well up front. They're very very good and disciplined with playing their gaps and their assignments, and they've shown mostly an even front. I mean, that's really what we're expecting. if they don't come out in the even front, we'll be ready for that as well. But that's what we're expecting, and we just got to do better with, we got to stay ahead of the change, and we got to be able to break some big runs every now and then. We had a lot of runs last week for no gain. Wasn't that we lost yards, but we weren't gaining anything either. So we gotta figure out a way to get through the line of scrimmage and get north and south and break some runs off and try to take the pressure off of our passing game, and balance things out a little bit. And I say balance. I think we had 59 snaps the other night and had 30 runs and 29 passes. That's about as balanced as you can get. But what I'm saying balanced in this aspect is we gotta have some bigger plays out of the running game and not just depend on the passing game.
Understood. Do we have any major injuries coming out of last week going into this week's matchup?
We had one concussion. It'll be out. We still have one with an ankle injury that may not be able to play Friday. Other than that, just typical football knickknacks and bruises and things like that you got to play with. So nothing too serious though.
Understood. We're going to step away for a quick commercial break, and we'll come back in just a moment. This is the Lakeside Football Report with head coach Tom Clements.
This is the Lakeside Chiefs Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Lakeside Football Report with head coach Tom Clements. Coach, you're head football coach here, but you're also athletic director. Kind of give us an update. The middle school football team, kind of different this year. They play their first game tomorrow night on the road in America's Georgia against Southland Academy. Just kind of give us an update of how they're doing.
Well, this will be the first time that they'll play a game this year, and everybody's excited about that and looking forward to getting that going. You know, we were slowed down a little bit. We didn't get to play last week. Our week opener game got canceled, so we'll start this week. We're going to Americus, Georgia. We're doing something entirely new, playing mostly over in the Georgia Association, and several things are different with it, but Pee Wee is still the same. It's up through the 6th grade, and those kids have been really working hard. It's fun to look over and see them every now and then while we're having our varsity practice. I'll glance over and check them out. They look like they're having a good time with that. And Billy Powers is our head coach. He's been an assistant for the last several years, but he took it over this year, and we were thankful for that. He's done a good job with them. And we brought in Buck McDonald. He'll be our head middle school coach, and we've heard a lot of good things about him, and I've seen him do a lot of good things for. He's really good with that age group, and I know they all like and respect him, and so you know all of that has been great. We'll finally get to see him go play tomorrow, but a lot of people were wondering why we're doing that. Well, you know, things time, and you know we're a smaller school, kind of over here by ourselves, just like Abbeville Christian. We're kind of stuck over here by ourselves, surrounded by much bigger 3A schools. And, you know, our traditional JV format is playing 7th, 8th, and 9th graders together. And we changed it to 7th and 8th simply because these schools that are closer to us, just more about our size, that's what they're playing over in Georgia. And it just made sense. You know, teams that dress out 15 or 16 kids, you need to be playing teams that's dressing out 15 or 16 kids, and that's kind of what we're doing instead of going and playing these bigger schools that dress out anywhere from 50 to 60. And it was just such a bad mismatch. I mean, for a while now, and some kids were losing interest, and we had to make a move. And by doing that, we've got some kids out that's never played before, and it's just been really good because, you know, you look at it. Back in the day, you played Ashford Academy at home and away, they're closed. You played Dixie Academy at home and away, they're closed. You played South Montgomery County Academy, they're no longer here. And of course, a little further back than that, Bullitt Memorial. So there's your whole schedule of people that's not even here anymore. So it just made sense for us to do that, change things up a little bit. And I do like playing on the Thursdays better than the Tuesdays because, you know, you're playing on a Tuesday the way they've done it in the past. You're going to practice the next day, and then your varsity's having a walkthrough on Thursday, and it's normally the same coaching staff. And that just didn't match up well. Then you got your varsity game days Fridays, and then the weekends, and then you practice Monday, walkthrough, and you're playing Tuesday. You just wasn't getting to do that much. So I like it now because they're practicing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, play Thursday, and it's just better. And so we're excited about getting that started, and we'll kick it off tomorrow. And volleyball's still going well for us right now. They dropped a match at Edgewood.
Well, they won a tournament at Lee Scott
over the weekend. They did, and to my knowledge, that's the first tournament we've ever won. So that was big for them, and that group of senior girls have worked hard, and they always have, and they'll continue to do it. And I know that they were proud to bring that trophy home. But we dropped one yesterday at Edgewood, number 1 team in the state. You know, but we get another chance, another shot at them later in the season here, but they worked hard and played. They're playing well and they're doing a good job. And cross country will be kicking it off soon as well. They got 4 or 5 different meets they're going to, and so we're pretty busy. There's a lot going on, and so we stay busy around here. So
well, congratulations to volleyball and good luck to all the other teams. It's always good to hear what's going on in the athletic world around the Lakeside School. Well, Coach, just to kind of put a finishing touch on the show, just kind of give us your keys to victory for tomorrow night's game. Going back to varsity football.
Keys to victory, they're going to play physical. We're going to have to answer that. They're also the tight team. If you'll recall, last year we came out early and we had a lot of success early. They're not going to change up what they're doing game plan wise. They're going to stick with what they're doing. You got to play a complete 4 quarters is what I'm getting at. You can't come out and do good the first quarter and relax the second. And they're going to play consistent. So we've got to play consistent. And we can't turn the ball over. We're going to have to force them to turn the ball over. We're going to have to play better in special teams area. And it's just a matter of executing your assignment. And we, I feel like we're in much better shape. I feel like that's always kind of, a scary issue when you're, early in the season with a team dressing out 16 or 17 kids. That's just something you don't know about until the game flow gets going. And we've been fortunate. We haven't had that bad of an issue with cramp. And because, when that starts happening, things change. One comes out, one has to move over, somebody comes off the sideline, it moves everybody around. We want to keep people in their primary positions, and for us to do that, we have to be in tip-top shape, and I think that we're okay in that area, and I know they will be as well. So I hope it's just going to be a good physical football game, and I hope we can keep everybody healthy and get the running game going. We're going to have to be able to run the football, and we're going to have to stop the run. So those will be some key areas that we're looking at.
Understood. Well, Friday night, 7 o'clock at Cougar Stadium in Laverne. Please come support the Lakeside Chiefs. If you can't be there, you can join me on the call as always, as I will be on the air live at 6:45 for pregame. So come out and support the Chiefs. And as always, for Coach Clements, I'm Ben McLilley. My time is up, and I thank you for yours.